Since ChatGPT was released, the market has ripped 145% higher, and it's almost entirely thanks to one company, and that is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is one of the first companies that had $4 trillion market cap, making it bigger than the entire stock market of most countries. But tomorrow, it all goes online with their earnings reports, and everybody is anticipating this earnings report. People are saying that they're going to beat, but at the same time, if one bad thing happens in the meeting or anything like that, you can see NVIDIA sell off, making other AI stocks sell off. With that being said, we have a big announcement with NVIDIA that can bring it up a decent amount, especially for its future. And honestly, man, I'm very, very pumped to see what happens. You guys don't want to miss out anything on this video, so stay tuned. And I'm going to be giving you guys some supports and resistance and some plays towards the end. So without further ado, let's get started. So to start off the video, man, we did have a little bit of a tech rally at the beginning of the day, and then sooner or later, we kind of sold off afterwards. But we do have NVIDIA up 1%, Apple down 0.2%, Google, Netflix, Tesla doing pretty well. We got some good news with Tesla. We're going to be talking about it a little bit later. And why is Tesla doing decent? But if we open up the SPY, we see that we did rally up a decent amount for most of the day, but then we did start selling off towards the end of the day and having a big red at like literally the last 5 minutes of the trading day. But let's talk more about magnificent earnings growth overall compared to the other 493 companies. We've seen a lot of growth overall. As we see with this chart, since ChatGPT came out, we've seen stocks rise by 145%. That's huge. By comparison, the other companies only increased like 4% within that time. The Magnificent Seven has been making history. Speaking of, NVIDIA is one of the first companies that have 4 trillion market cap. And like we said before, that is bigger than most stock market caps overall. This chart is comparing it to Japan basically, and it is almost touching Japan's total market cap in billions. The NVIDIA's earnings is going to be insane. A lot of pressure is on NVIDIA overall. Even if they beat, if there's one thing that investors don't like, we could see NVIDIA sell. It has a 7% estimate move up or down. NVIDIA fuels the S&P 500 by around 8% right now, so it has a chance to move and move other bigger stocks in S&P 500 in general. So this is going to be good on Wednesday because we could see where the overall market can go. And this is a big event, just like the Jackson Hole. So we might see some anticipation, profit taking, anything like that today, Tuesday, right before NVIDIA's earnings tomorrow on Wednesday. So NVIDIA also announced yesterday their new robot brain. They are going to start shipping these chips next month. The chips will allow customers to basically create robots and say is the company's largest growth opportunity on the side of AI, which is kind of insane. There's been a lot of talks in robotics in general with a lot of major companies. You can see Tesla, stuff like that. And for them to jumpstart their companies with this chip that's already out is pretty insane. And this can be a big growth driver for NVIDIA overall, and being some of the first companies to produce and sell this commercially can be big for NVIDIA. Coming in at $34.99, a lot of people can access this chip, and even people that love to make robots at home and or companies that just want to make their own robots, this kit isn't too bad. This is what the kit is going to look like, and honestly, man, it just looks like a mini GPU chip and or just like a mini computer. But this is going to be big for NVIDIA, so keep this on your mind and on your radar for NVIDIA overall. This can potentially bring it past 200 if we can get some good orders coming in. First link in the description below, I have a bunch of courses to help you guys become more profitable. So go check out these courses. With that code down below, you guys can get 50% off, and the courses are already relatively cheap. We also see that IBKR, Interactive Brokers Group, will be joining the S&P 500, and it will be replacing Walgreens, Boots Alliance, WBA. So keep this in mind because this can bring a little bit of a spike up, but sometimes when stocks join the S&P 500, it's kind of 50-50. You can see it, spike up a decent amount and have a big sell-off and or just continue the rally upwards. Crypto in general moved pretty decent, honestly. And honestly, we've seen Bitcoin move below that $110,000 level yesterday. And honestly, the sell-off just has been continuing for crypto coins in general. We did kind of see a bottom hit when Bitcoin hit below 110 and it kind of just regained that 110, and then we see like XRP kind of coming back, so we might be able to see maybe testing the highs again for XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum in general. A lot of people love Ethereum, but with that being said, man, don't see this as a as a buying opportunity yet because we've seen it here. It came back up, but then we had a big sell off. So we could potentially, this can be a make or break moment. We could probably sell back off, maybe get down to like 4.2, maybe even below 4,000 with Ethereum, and or we could start bouncing back up, retesting that 4.7. So keep that in mind overall for some coins. If you guys want to trade Ethereum on this, you could do ETHA. You could play options on this one, or for IBIT or for Bitcoin, you could trade IBIT, IBIT. Both of these are ETFs that move exactly with Bitcoin and Ethereum. ETHA is for Ethereum, IBIT is for Bitcoin. With that being said, you can also trade MSTR. MSTR is a decent stock that moves with Bitcoin. And then we also have Coin. Coin moves with Bitcoin a decent amount. And then we have Hood. Hood is kind of more diverse. It kind of moves with overall crypto, but it has been moving a lot with Bitcoin and a little bit with Ethereum. So keep all of these on your mind and on your radar. I do like Robinhood in general, but if we have a sell off with crypto, I don't really recommend it, but you can start loading up if we do potentially find a bottom. So talking about some earnings, man, of course, the main thing is indeed NVIDIA. That's the only thing that I'm personally watching. But we do got some other ones. We got like HP, 5 and below, Best Buy, Dollar General, Dell, Dick's, Ali. We got some decent ones that are coming out, but I think everybody is going to be watching NVIDIA and how it goes. So keep NVIDIA on your mind and on your radar for tomorrow after close, because this can move the stock market. We've been yapping too much about it, so I'm going to keep it short. But NVIDIA, keep this on your radar. So getting more into data, we did have new home sales yesterday, 30 minutes after market open. It came in at 652,000. The forecast was 632,000 and the previous was 656,000. So honestly, pretty well. With that being said, today, man, we do have a little bit bigger. So we have durable good orders overall, and we have a speech, and we have the S&P home price index, and this can be 30 minutes before, and then 30 minutes after market opens, we have consumer confidence. So keep all of this on your radar. Consumer confidence might move the market 30 minutes after, so please have that on your mind. And then we now have a speech on Wednesday, which wasn't there before. So honestly, keep that in mind. I think Thursday is going to be a little bit bigger because we have the initial jobless claims GDP. So keep all this on your radar, but mainly, man, watch that consumer confidence and durable good orders before market opens. So the Fed rate decision, the chance of a cut is down 2% from yesterday. Now we're at 74%. And a chance of just basically maintaining their rates is going to be 21% now. So keep Kalshi on your radar because this can bring, more bullish or bearish sentiment in the market overall. And speaking of that, the fear and greed index, we're still in the greed and we're at 59. And I want to pull out the crypto one. We're at neutral at 43. So keep all this on your mind while trading stocks and crypto. Talking a little bit on Tesla, man. Tesla has been moving pretty strong. Friday continued it yesterday. So we got to see how we go today, basically. But with that being said, the EV tax cut might be out a little bit longer than anticipated. So this is bringing Tesla up a decent amount, and other EV sectors. And the robotic market is just getting bigger and bigger, especially with NVIDIA coming out with that chip. And honestly, just companies that do robotics is getting a little bit of a green candle. So we had some decent talks yesterday coming out from President Donald Trump, and we did get some good South Korea news. So overall, man, what we really got was the $150 billion investment in the US, and they're going to be ordering 103 Boeing planes. We've seen a decent green candle off of this one. This one moved more than, I think, China ordering a 500. But Air Korea will be ordering these planes. With that being said, we also have a potential good deal with South Korea. There's nothing verified yet, but we will see. But with this $150 billion investment and planes being ordered, I think we're going to get a decent deal come in from South Korea. So President Donald Trump also came out saying that Intel has generated $11 billion for the US in general. And Trump also says that he wants more deals with more companies. So we might be seeing this come out more often. What company do you guys think is next? We also seen a big spike up with marijuana stocks in general, and you may be wondering why. So there's a new chairman elected, and he campaigned for legalization of marijuana in the past, and people are also saying that Trump could reschedule it in general. But with that being said, having somebody that supports marijuana is pretty good with marijuana stocks, so keep TLRY on your radar. We do have a big bid upwards, and honestly, it's a $1.50 stock, so you could buy some shares, but I honestly recommend waiting just a little bit longer because this love might die down a little bit. But with that being said, man, these do have a lot of volatility, so you can watch other marijuana stocks as well. But we did see a big spike in TLRY and other stocks related. So speaking more on Tesla and or Elon Musk XAI, we did see Elon Musk XAI company has filed a lawsuit against Apple and OpenAI, accusing them of anti-competitive practices. The lawsuit alleges that Apple's partnership with OpenAI, which integrates ChatGPT into Apple's operating systems, gives OpenAI an unfair advantage and hinders competition from other AI companies like XAI and its chatbot group. The suit claims this partnership creates a monopoly in both smartphones and generative AI markets. Musk's legal action seeks to end this alleged illegal arrangement and is asking for $1 billion in damages. OpenAI has responded by calling the lawsuit a form of harassment from Musk. This is not the first legal battle between Musk and OpenAI, as he has a separate lawsuit challenging the company's transition to a for-profit model. With that being said, man, we do see this happening, and we did see Elon Musk posting showing that XAI doesn't really show up on the App Store at all, which is kind of insane. So maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong, maybe he's going to win, maybe he's not. But keep this on your radar overall. We did see kind of crazily that Apple did take a green candle after this news came out. So I don't really know if that's good or bad, but keep that on your mind overall. So talking more about the investment. So South Korean companies are set to invest approximately $150 billion in the United States. This investment is part of a larger $350 billion trade agreement between the two countries. A significant portion of this investment, around $150 billion, is specifically aimed at revitalizing the U.S. shipbuilding industry. The initiative, dubbed Make America Shipbuilding Great Again, MASGA, will involve building new shipyards, training workers, and modernizing the supply chain overall. This investment also includes projects in other sectors like semiconductors, battery, biotechnology, and energy. Major South Korean companies like Samsung, Hyundai, and LG are involved in these investment plans. This move is seen as a way for South Korea to strengthen its economic ties with the US and compete more effectively in the American market, potentially making more money. And we also say US takes steps to hit India with a 50% tariff from Wednesday. So keep this in mind overall, because we might see a 50% tariff coming out on India even more. We thought we was going to get a good trade deal, but I guess not. With that all being said, man, let's get to some supports and resistance and to potential plays. So yesterday I did tell you guys to watch that 643 to that 642.5 level. So now, man, to the upside, you can watch that 642.5, 643.5, and then up to the highs of that 645. If we could break above that, look at 646.5 to that 650 level. If we start going to the downside a little bit more, we don't get a green like we did yesterday, look at 641.5, 640, 638.5, and that 635 level for the SPY. I don't have any plays for this one. I'm not really potentially making a play yet, but I might maybe make one last second. So if you guys are interested, go follow my X account, NextGen Wealth Tips, and I will be posting my plays over there. With that being said, man, next one to watch is going to be Apple. Apple, honestly, day by day has been having some green spikes in the morning, as we can see. So we might have a green spike and then a potential sell-off like we've been having in the past couple of days. Friday was just a little bit better because of Jerome. With that being said, though, we might itch up. We might get up to like 227.5 to that 228.5 and then fall off. So keep that in mind overall. But what I'm watching for is going to be a break of that 228.5 and then potentially getting back up to that 229 to 229.5. And if we can get 230, we might be able to hold it and or we might not. We'll see. But we don't really have any good news with Apple overall. We do got the phones coming out next month, but that's about it. Nothing really major. To the downside, if we do start breaking down, I'll be watching that 226, 225.5, 224.5, and that 224 flat. If we break below that, I'm going to be watching that 220 next for Apple. But a good call option play. I normally play it at the end of the day and just hope that we have that spike up. Low key, that's kind of what I've been playing. I've been playing like a call option here and then selling it in the morning. And then if it doesn't hit, I'll wait until the next day or the next day after that. Not really risking too much money, but it is some easy money to be made. Rinse and repeat plays. But you can also play put options if you guys want to day trade. Normally, when it gets up to the highs, you can make a decent amount of money off the put option, especially if you have a big day like this where you spiked up a lot. you can have the big day downwards too. So keep that in mind overall for Apple. So put options, I do recommend watching at 228.5 to that 229. But if we break above 230, the put options might not be in play. You might still break down, but it might be able to hold that 230 overall. So take your time, have your patience with Apple in general, and it's looking pretty good. NVIDIA, of course, no plays at all because we do have those premiums shot up. It's already priced in for if the stock goes up or down 7%. So I don't recommend playing any plays on NVIDIA unless you guys are playing some option plays. But to the upside, I am going to be watching that 181.5. If we break above that 182.5 to that 185, and then to the downside, 179.5, 177, and then or 177.5 to that 176.5, sorry. But with that being said, I'm going to be watching if we hold that 180 level. If we break below, we might have a bigger candlestick downwards and we might retest the 180 and or start falling down. So keep that in mind overall for NVIDIA. But if you guys do want to get into it, I do recommend watching that 179.5 to that 178.5 and having your patience in it in general. Next one, of course, is going to be Tesla, just because it has been moving pretty strong in the past couple of days. And don't be scared of this gap downwards because we had it before, green candle basically. And then we had the same thing before. With that being said, man, to the upside, I'm going to be watching that 350. If we can finally break that 350, we could potentially get 355 to that 357 level and then maybe even 360. But if you do want to play a play, see if we can break above that 350 first, and then you could play it upwards. With that being said, if we do start itching down lower, we might have chances of it filling some gaps down. So honestly, Tesla's 50-50 right now. You just got to see where it goes and kind of just go with the flow, because Tesla is one stock that kind of continues its rally. So if we do itch up higher, we're going to keep on going up higher. As we could see, it's not really too volatile. We're going to keep on going downwards. And then when we get a bottom, we go upwards. So honestly, Tesla's a little bit easier to read in the short term, but if you overstay your welcome, of course, you're going to regret it. With that being said, though, man, the stock market is looking pretty good overall. It's Tuesday, so we got to lock in some profits for the week overall. With that being said, comment down below how much you guys made yesterday and what stocks you guys are watching. Smash that like button, subscribe, follow me on X, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.